The junkyard stretched forever under the burning sun. Mountains of twisted metal, broken cars, and rusted pipes covered the ground like a graveyard of forgotten things. Dust danced in the hot wind, and somewhere far away, a piece of metal groaned and crashed. Maya wiped sweat from her forehead. Her stomach hurt from hunger. She hadn't eaten since yesterday morning when she found half a sandwich behind the bakery. Her clothes were dirty and torn. Her shoes had holes. But she kept walking, searching through the junk for anything she could sell. That's when she heard it. A sound. Soft. Almost like a whisper. Help! Maya froze. Her heart began to pound. Nobody came to the junkyard except people like her. People with nowhere else to go. She looked around at the towers of trash and broken things. Help! Please! The voice came from behind a pile of old tires. Maya's hand shook. Should she run? What if it was a trap? But something in that voice sounded so weak, so desperate. She took a step forward. Then another. Behind the tires, a man lay on the ground. His suit was torn and covered in blood. His face was pale, almost gray. A deep cut ran across his forehead, and his breathing came in short, painful gasps. He looked like he was dying. Water, he whispered. Please, water. Maya's hand went to her backpack. Inside was one bottle of water, the only water she had. She'd been saving it all day. Her throat was dry. Her lips were cracked. She needed that water, but the man's eyes found hers. They were full of pain and fear and something else. Hope. Maya knelt beside him and opened her bottle. Her hands trembled as she lifted his head and pressed the bottle to his lips. He drank in small sips, coughing between each one. Thank you, he breathed. His voice was stronger now, just a little. You saved my life. What happened to you? Maya asked. The man's eyes darted around, searching the spaces between the junk piles. They're coming, he said. Bad men. Dangerous men. They want to kill me. Fear shot through Maya's chest. Why? Because I know their secrets. He coughed, and blood appeared on his lips. I have proof. Evidence of terrible things they've done. Stealing. Hurting people. Lies that fooled the whole country. Maya didn't understand all the words, but she understood danger. She'd lived on the streets long enough to know when someone was in real trouble. Where is this proof? She asked. The man pointed to something half-buried under a sheet of metal nearby. Maya pulled it out. It was a black briefcase, scratched and dented but locked tight. Guard it. The man said, Don't let them take it. Inside are papers, photos, recordings, everything that can stop them, everything that can make them pay for what they've done. Suddenly, lights appeared in the distance, bright white beams cutting through the dusty air. Maya's breath caught in her throat. They're here, the man whispered. Maya heard engines, trucks, and voices, hard, angry voices shouting orders. Find him. Search every pile. He can't have gone far. Maya's mind raced. Hide. They needed to hide. But where? The junkyard was huge but open. The searchlights were getting closer, sweeping back and forth like giant eyes looking for them. She looked at the man. He couldn't walk. He could barely move. But she was small, and she was strong. Stronger than people thought. Hold on to me, she said. She grabbed the man under his arms and pulled. He groaned in pain but didn't cry out. Maya dragged him backward, away from the lights, deeper into the maze of junk. The briefcase bounced against her leg as she moved. Her muscles burned. The man was heavy. But Maya didn't stop. She couldn't stop. She pulled him behind a crushed bus, then behind a mountain of old washing machines. The light swept past them, missing them by inches. Over there, I see tracks. The voices were closer now. Maya could hear boots crunching on gravel and glass. She held her breath. The man beside her had closed his eyes. Was he still alive? She pressed her hand to his chest. Yes, his heart was still beating. Weak, but beating. Maya looked around frantically. They needed a better hiding spot. Somewhere the lights couldn't reach. Somewhere those men would never think to look. Then she saw it, a gap between two huge shipping containers. It was narrow, almost hidden by a fallen roof panel. Maybe, just maybe, they could squeeze through. "Can you move a little?" she whispered to the man. He opened his eyes. "I'll try." Together, they crawled. Maya pushed the briefcase ahead of them and pulled the man behind her. Metal scraped against metal. The man bit his lip to keep from screaming as his wounded leg dragged across the rough ground. They made it through the gap just as a searchlight blazed across the spot where they'd been seconds before. Inside, it was dark and hot. The space was tiny, barely room for both of them. Maya could hear the man's ragged breathing right next to her ear. "Who are you?" she whispered. "My name is Marcus," the man said. "Marcus Webb. I used to work for very powerful people. Rich people who run companies and control cities. I found out they were stealing money from hospitals and schools. Money that was supposed to help sick children and poor families. They took it for themselves. Millions and millions of dollars." Maya's hands curled into fists. She'd slept in hospital hallways when it was cold outside. She'd seen sick kids who couldn't get medicine. And these rich people had stolen from them? "I gathered proof," Marcus continued. "Everything is in that briefcase. I was going to give it to the police, to the newspapers, but they found out. They sent hunters after me. I ran, but they shot my car. It crashed near here. I barely escaped. Outside, the voices grew louder. He's got to be here somewhere. Keep looking." Dogs barked. Maya's heart hammered, so hard she thought it might break through her ribs. Marcus grabbed her hand. His grip was weak, but urgent. "Listen to me. If they catch me, if I die, you have to take that briefcase. You have to get it to someone who can help. There's a woman, Detective Sarah Chun, at the police station on Maple Street. Give it to her. Only her. She's honest. She'll know what to do." "You're not going to die," Maya said, though she wasn't sure she believed it. "Promise me," Marcus said. "Promise you'll get it to her." Maya looked at the briefcase. It was just a box. But inside was something bigger than both of them. Inside was justice. Inside was hope for all the people who'd been hurt. "I promise," she said. A light hit the shipping container. Shadows moved outside. Maya held her breath and didn't move a single muscle. One of the hunters was right outside their hiding spot. The light swept over the gap. Maya squeezed her eyes shut, as if that would make her invisible. "Nothing here," the hunter called out. "Just more junk." The light moved away. Maya waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Finally, she heard the truck start up again. The engines grew quieter. The hunters were leaving, for now. She let out a long, shaky breath. Marcus opened his eyes and managed a small smile. "You're very brave," he said. "What's your name?" "Maya." "Well, Maya, you just saved the life of a very foolish man who tried to fight monsters much bigger than himself." "You're not foolish," Maya said. "You're trying to help people. That's not foolish. That's good." Marcus's eyes got wet. "Thank you," he whispered. Maya looked out through the gap. The sun was setting now, painting the junkyard in orange and red. Soon it would be dark. They needed to move. The hunters would come back. They always came back. She thought about Detective Chun on Maple Street. That was on the other side of the city. Miles away. She'd have to carry Marcus. She'd have to carry the briefcase. She'd have to do it all while hiding from the hunters. It seemed impossible, but Maya had done impossible things before. She'd survived winter nights in cardboard boxes. She'd found food when there was none. She'd stayed alive when the world tried to forget she existed. She could do this. She had to do this. "Can you stand?" she asked Marcus. He tried. He got to his knees, then fell back down. Not yet." "Then rest," Maya said. "When it's dark, we'll move. I know a place. An old tunnel under the highway. The hunters won't find us there." Marcus nodded. "You're amazing, Maya." She picked up the briefcase and held it tight. Inside was the power to change everything. Inside was truth that bad people wanted buried forever. And now it was her job to protect it. The sun disappeared. Darkness swallowed the junkyard. Maya heard something in the distance. engines starting up again. They were coming back. "Time to go," she said. Maya pulled Marcus to his feet. He leaned heavily on her shoulder, and every step made him groan with pain. The briefcase swung from her other hand, heavy as a rock. "We have to hurry," she whispered. Behind them, headlights appeared again. 3 trucks this time, spreading out across the junkyard like hunting wolves. Their engines growled in the darkness. Maya led Marcus between towers of scrap metal. She knew this place. She'd lived here for 2 months before moving to the streets downtown. She knew every path, every hiding spot, every shortcut. They moved slowly, too slowly. Marcus's breathing was getting worse. He stumbled every few steps. "I'm slowing you down," he gasped. "Leave me. Take the briefcase and go." "No," Maya said firmly. "We stay together." A searchlight swept over their heads. Maya ducked, pulling Marcus down behind a pile of broken refrigerators. They pressed themselves flat against the cold metal. Voices carried through the night air. "The boss wants him dead before sunrise. Check every corner. And remember, there's $1 million for whoever finds him first." Maya's eyes went wide. $1 million? These hunters would never stop. Not for that kind of money. "There's more you need to know," Marcus whispered beside her. "The briefcase." "Not now," Maya said. "Save your strength." "No, you need to know, in case." He coughed. "In case I don't make it." Maya wanted to argue, but something in his voice made her listen. "The briefcase is more than papers," Marcus said. "There's a USB drive. Red one. On it are bank records showing where the stolen money went. $30 million. They took it from hospital funds, school lunch programs, medicine for sick people. And they gave it to themselves, bonuses, vacations, mansions." Maya felt anger burn in her chest. $30 million. That could feed every hungry kid in the city for years. "But there's something else on that drive," Marcus continued. "Something even more dangerous. A list of names. Judges who took bribes. Police captains who helped cover crimes. Even a senator. They're all connected. All guilty. If that list gets out, their whole empire falls apart. That's why they want you dead," Maya said. "That's why they'll kill anyone who helps me," Marcus said. "Maya, you can still walk away. You can." Dogs barked. Close. Very close. "They brought tracking dogs," Maya breathed. "They'll smell us." She looked around frantically. The tunnel. They had to reach the tunnel. It was on the far side of the junkyard, past the crusher machine and the old guard shack. If they could get there, the dogs couldn't follow. Water ran through that tunnel. It would wash away their scent. "Can you run?" she asked Marcus. "I can try." Maya helped him up. They started moving again, faster now. Marcus bit back his pain and pushed forward. The briefcase banged against Maya's leg with each step. Behind them, the barking got louder. The dogs had picked up their trail. There, movement by the crusher. Gunshots cracked through the night. Bullets pinged off metal all around them. Maya screamed and dove behind a burned-out car, pulling Marcus with her. "Go!" Marcus shouted. "Run!" But Maya didn't run. She couldn't leave him. She looked around desperately. They were trapped. The hunters were closing in from 3 sides. The dogs would reach them in seconds. Then she saw it. A drainage pipe half buried under rubble. It was small, very small. But maybe... There! She pointed. "Can you fit?" Marcus looked at the pipe. "Maybe. But what about you?" "I'll distract them. Draw them away. Then I'll circle back and meet you at the tunnel entrance." "Maya, no." "Trust me," she said. "I am fast. They'll never catch me." Before Marcus could argue, Maya grabbed a metal pipe from the ground and threw it as hard as she could. It crashed into a pile of glass bottles 50 feet away. The sound exploded through the night. The hunters spun toward the noise. The dogs pulled at their leashes, barking wildly. Over there, Maya shoved the briefcase into Marcus's hands. "Go! Now!" Marcus crawled into the drainage pipe, dragging the briefcase behind him. Maya watched until he disappeared into the darkness. Then she ran. She ran like the wind, her feet flying over broken glass and twisted metal. The hunters spotted her. "There's someone, a kid, after them." Maya zigzagged to the junkyard, her small size letting her slip through gaps the big men couldn't follow. She heard them cursing behind her, heard the dogs straining to keep up. She leaped over a fallen beam, ducked under a low pipe, squeezed between two crushed cars. A bullet whizzed past her ear. Maya's heart nearly exploded with fear, but she didn't stop. She couldn't stop. She ran toward the old guard shack, then at the last second, changed direction. The hunters followed her, just like she'd hoped. She was leading them away from Marcus, away from the briefcase. But she was getting tired. Her legs burned. Her lungs screamed for air. A hand grabbed her backpack. Maya twisted and slipped free, leaving the backpack in the hunter's grip. She stumbled, fell, rolled, and came up running. "Little brat," the hunter yelled. "You're protecting him. Where is he?" Maya didn't answer. She just ran. She made it to the far edge of the junkyard, where old cars were stacked 5 high. She climbed, hand over hand, foot over foot, up and up until she reached the top. The hunters surrounded the car tower below, shining lights up at her. "Come down," one of them shouted. "You're trapped," another yelled. Maya stood on top of the highest car and looked down at them. Her chest heaved. Sweat dripped down her face. "Why are you helping him?" The first hunter called up. "We'll give you money, food, a place to sleep. Just tell us where he is." For a moment, Maya was tempted. Money meant food. Food meant not being hungry. A place to sleep meant being warm and safe. But then she thought about the $30 million, about the sick kids who didn't get medicine, about all the people these bad men had hurt. "No," she called down. "You're bad people. You steal from kids like me. You hurt people who can't fight back. I won't help you." The hunter's face twisted with anger. "Then you'll die with him." He raised his gun. Maya jumped. She sailed through the air and landed on the roof of another car stacked 20 feet away. The metal buckled under her weight, but it held. The hunters fired, but she was already moving, jumping from car to car like a grasshopper, always one step ahead. She heard them screaming in frustration behind her. Maya made it to the ground and sprinted for the tunnel. Her legs were shaking. Her vision was blurry with exhaustion, but she kept going. The tunnel entrance appeared ahead, a dark hole in the ground, half hidden by weeds and trash. Maya slid down into it. Cool air hit her face. Water trickled somewhere in the darkness. "Marcus," she called softly. "Marcus, are you here?" "Here." His voice came from the shadows. "I'm here." Maya felt her way through the darkness until she found him. He was sitting against the tunnel wall, the briefcase on his lap. "You came back," he said. "I promised I would." "You're incredible," Marcus said. "I've never seen anything like." A sound echoed through the tunnel. Footsteps. Coming closer. Maya and Marcus froze. Had the hunters found them? A figure appeared at the tunnel entrance. Tall, broad-shouldered, holding something in their hand. Maya prepared to run. Then the figure spoke. "Marcus Webb." It was a woman's voice, strong but kind. "Who's asking?" Marcus called out. The woman stepped into the dim light. She was older, with gray hair and tired eyes. She wore a police uniform. "My name is Detective Sarah Chun," she said. "I've been looking for you for 3 days." Maya's jaw dropped. Detective Chun, the woman Marcus had told her about. "Sarah?" Marcus's voice cracked with relief. "How did you find me?" "I've been tracking the hunters," Detective Chun said. "When they rushed to the junkyard, I knew you must be here." She looked at Maya. "Who's this?" "This is Maya," Marcus said. "She saved my life. She's been protecting me and the briefcase." Detective Chun knelt down, so she was eye level with Maya. "You're very brave," she said gently. "Are you really a detective?" Maya asked. "I am, and I've been trying to catch these criminals for 2 years." She looked at the briefcase. "Is that it? The evidence?" Marcus nodded. "Everything we need to put them away forever." Detective Chin reached for the briefcase, but suddenly she froze. Her eyes went wide. "Run," she whispered. "Run." A shadow moved at the tunnel entrance. The lead hunter stepped into view, his gun pointed right at them. "Well, well," he said with a cruel smile. "The whole gang together. How convenient." 3 more hunters appeared behind him. They'd found the tunnel. Maya, Marcus, and Detective Chin were trapped. The hunter walked closer, his gun steady. "Hand over the briefcase, and maybe I'll let the girl live." Maya's hand tightened on the briefcase handle. Detective Chin slowly stood up, putting herself between Maya and the gun. "You're not taking that briefcase," she said calmly. "And you're not hurting this child." "Then I'll shoot you first," the hunter said. "Go ahead," Detective Chin said. "But you know what happens when you kill a cop. Every officer in this city will hunt you down. You'll never be safe again." The hunter hesitated. In that moment of doubt, Detective Chun moved. She was fast, faster than Maya expected. She grabbed the hunter's gun and twisted. The gun fired, but the bullet went wide, sparking off the tunnel wall. "Go!" Detective Chin shouted. "There's another exit, 50 feet down. Go!" Maya grabbed Marcus and pulled him deeper into the tunnel. Behind them, she heard fighting, grunts of pain, the sound of fists hitting flesh. Marcus stumbled. Maya caught him. The briefcase weighed them down, but she wouldn't let it go. They ran through the darkness, splashing through ankle-deep water. Maya's eyes adjusted slowly. She could barely see the tunnel walls. "There!" Marcus pointed ahead. "Light!" It was true. A faint glow appeared in the distance. The other exit. They pushed toward it. 30 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet. They burst out into the night air and found themselves in an empty construction site. Half-built buildings rose around them like skeletons. "Now what?" Maya gasped. Marcus pointed to a rusted truck sitting near a pile of lumber. "That. If it starts, we can get away." They ran for the truck. Marcus pulled the door open while Maya threw the briefcase into the seat. Behind them, gunshots echoed from the tunnel. "Hurry!" Maya cried. Marcus climbed into the driver's seat. His hands shook as he touched wires together under the steering wheel. Maya had seen people start cars this way before. Hot wiring, they called it. Sparks flew. The engine coughed once. Twice. "Come on," Marcus begged. "Come on." The engine roared to life. At that exact moment, the hunter burst in the tunnel, his face bleeding, his gun raised. Marcus slammed the truck into gear. The tires squealed as they shot forward. The hunter fired. The back window shattered. Glass rained over Maya. But they were moving. Faster. Faster. They crashed through the construction site fence and onto the road beyond. Maya looked back. The hunter stood in the middle of the road, getting smaller and smaller as they drove away. Then she saw something else. Detective Chin appeared at the tunnel exit. She was limping, her uniform torn, but she was alive. She raised her hand, not to wave, but to salute. Maya saluted back. "She'll be okay," Marcus said. "Sarah's tough. And now she knows where to find the other cops she trusts. Backup will come." The truck rattled down the empty highway. Dawn was coming. The sky was turning from black to purple to orange. Maya held the briefcase tight. They'd made it. Against impossible odds, they'd survived. But she knew this wasn't over. Not yet. The truck rattled down the empty highway as the sun rose behind them. Orange light painted everything gold. Maya watched the city appear in the distance, tall buildings reaching toward the sky like fingers. "We're almost there," Marcus said. His voice was weak. Blood had soaked through his shirt again. "Maple Street Police Station. 10 more minutes." Maya looked at him with worry. His skin was pale as paper. His hands trembled on the steering wheel. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I'll make it," Marcus said. But his eyes said something different. The truck coughed. The engine sputtered. No, no, no. Marcus whispered. He pressed the gas pedal, but the truck was slowing down. "We're out of fuel." The engine died. The truck rolled to a stop on the side of the highway. Silence fell around them. Marcus hit the steering wheel with his fist. We were so close. Maya looked at the city. It was still miles away. Marcus couldn't walk that far. He could barely stand. I'll go, Maya said. I'll run to the police station and bring help back. Maya, no, it's too dangerous. The hunters are behind us, Maya said, and we don't have a choice. She grabbed the briefcase and opened the door. Wait, Marcus said. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small silver key. This opens a briefcase. If anything happens to me, you use this. You give everything inside to Detective Chun. You make sure the truth gets out. Maya took the key. It was warm from being in his pocket. Nothing's going to happen to you, she said. Marcus smiled sadly. You've already saved me more times than I can count. Whatever happens now, you've been a hero, Maya. A real hero. Tears burned in Maya's eyes, but she blinked them away. I'll be back with help. I promise. She jumped out of the truck and started running. Her legs were tired. Her whole body ached. But she ran anyway. The briefcase bounced against her side. The silver key was clutched tight in her fist. She ran past abandoned warehouses and empty lots, past graffiti-covered walls and chain-link fences. The city got closer with every step. Then she heard it, an engine behind her, getting louder. Maya looked back. A black car was speeding down the highway. The same car the hunters had been driving. They'd found her. Maya's heart hammered. She pushed herself to run faster. Her lungs burned. Her vision blurred. But the car was faster. It pulled up beside her. The window rolled down. The lead hunter leaned out, his face twisted with rage. End of the line, little girl, he snarled. The car swerved, trying to knock her down. Maya jumped aside at the last second. The car screeched past her, but it turned around, came back. Maya ran off the road and into an empty lot. The car couldn't follow her here. Too much broken concrete and debris. She zigzagged between piles of rubble. Behind her, she heard car doors slam. The hunters were on foot now, chasing her. Maya's legs were giving out. She couldn't run much longer. She saw a broken building ahead, half-collapsed, walls missing. She ran inside and hid behind a concrete pillar. Footsteps entered the building. 3 hunters, spreading out. Come out, kid, one called. We're not going to hurt you. We just want the briefcase. Maya held her breath. Her whole body shook. Your friend Marcus is probably dead by now, another hunter said. Bled out in that truck. You did your best, but it's over. Give us the briefcase, and we'll let you go. We'll even give you money. Lots of it. Maya looked down at the briefcase. Inside was justice. Inside was hope. Inside was the proof that could save thousands of people from being hurt by these criminals. She thought about Marcus, who risked everything to gather this evidence. She thought about Detective Chun, who fought the hunters to give them a chance to escape. She thought about all the sick children who didn't get medicine because these bad men stole the money. No, Maya said, stepping out from behind the pillar. I won't give it to you. The 3 hunters turned to face her. They raised their guns. Then you'll die for nothing, the lead hunter said. Maya closed her eyes. This was the end. But then a voice rang out. Drop your weapons. Police. Maya's eyes flew open. Detective Chin stood at the building entrance, her gun drawn. Behind her were 6 more police officers, all with their weapons pointed at the hunters. It's over, Detective Chin said. You're surrounded. Drop the guns and put your hands up. The lead hunter's face went red with fury. You can't prove anything. Actually, we can, said another voice. Marcus appeared behind the police officers. He was leaning on a paramedic for support, bandages wrapped around his chest, but he was alive. He was alive. The briefcase has everything we need, Marcus said. But even better, I recorded our conversation in the tunnel. I recorded you admitting you work for the people who stole the money. I recorded you threatening to kill us. It's all on my phone, and I already sent it to Detective Chun. The lead hunter's face went pale. Put the guns down, Detective Chin said again. Last warning. One by one, the hunters dropped their weapons. Police officers rushed forward and handcuffed them. Maya stood frozen, the briefcase still clutched to her chest. She couldn't believe it. It was really over. Detective Chin walked over to her and knelt down. "You did it, Maya. You saved him. You saved all of us." Maya's legs gave out. She sat down hard on the concrete, and suddenly she was crying. All the fear, all the exhaustion, all the terror of the past night came pouring out. Detective Chin sat beside her and put an arm around her shoulders. "It's okay. You're safe now. You're a hero." Marcus limped over with the paramedics' help. He sat down on Maya's other side. "Thank you," he said softly. "Thank you for not giving up on me." Maya wiped her tears. "Thank you for trusting me." She handed him the briefcase and the silver key. Marcus opened the briefcase. Inside were stacks of papers, folders full of photos, and a small red USB drive, just like he'd described. "This is going to change everything," Detective Chin said, looking at the evidence. $30 million stolen. 15 people involved, including Senator Morrison. This is the biggest corruption case in state history. "What happens now?" Maya asked. "Now justice happens," Detective Chin said. "We arrest everyone on that list. We return the stolen money. We make sure this never happens again." She looked at Maya. "And we make sure you get the recognition you deserve." "I don't need recognition," Maya said quietly. "I just wanted to help." "Well, you're getting it anyway," Marcus said with a smile. "Plus, there's a reward. The state offers money for information leading to corruption arrests. It's $50,000, and every penny belongs to you." Maya's eyes went wide. $50,000? "Enough to get you off the streets," Detective Chin said. "Enough for food, shelter, school. Enough for a new start." Maya couldn't speak. Her whole life had been about surviving day to day. And now, suddenly, everything was different. More police cars arrived. Reporters started showing up too, with cameras and microphones. The story was spreading fast. A paramedic checked Maya over and wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. Another paramedic helped Marcus into an ambulance. "Wait," Maya called out. She ran to the ambulance. "Will I see you again?" Marcus smiled. "Are you kidding? You're the bravest person I've ever met. Of course you'll see me again. Once I'm healed up, I'm taking you out for the biggest pizza you've ever seen." Maya laughed. It felt good to laugh. As the ambulance drove away, Detective Chin stood beside Maya. Together, they watched the sun rise fully over the city. The light was warm and golden, full of promise. "You know what you did last night?" Detective Chin said. "You proved that one person can make a difference. One act of kindness can change the world. You could have walked away. You could have let Marcus die and saved yourself. But you didn't. You chose mercy. You chose courage. And because of that choice, thousands of people are going to get their money back. Sick children will get medicine. Schools will get funding. Bad people will go to jail." Maya looked at the briefcase, now in Detective Chen's hands. Such a small thing to hold such big consequences. "I was just trying to help," Maya said. "And that's exactly what makes you a hero," Detective Chen said. "Heroes don't think about rewards or recognition. They just do what's right." Over the next few days, Maya's story spread everywhere. Newspapers wrote articles. TV stations showed her picture. People called her the girl who saved the truth. Marcus recovered in the hospital. All 15 people on the list were arrested, including Senator Morrison. The stolen $30 million was returned to the hospital and school programs. Sick children got the medicine they needed. Schools got new books and better lunches. And Maya? She got her $50,000. Detective Chun helped her open a bank account and find a safe place to live. She enrolled in school for the first time in 3 years. She even got new clothes and shoes without holes. But the best part? Maya used some of her reward money to help other homeless kids. She bought blankets and food. She told them her story and reminded them that they mattered, that they were important, that they deserved kindness. Because Maya understood something that many people forget. Heroes aren't born. They're made. And anyone, no matter how small, no matter how poor, no matter how forgotten, can choose to be brave. All it takes is one act of mercy, one moment of courage, one decision to help instead of walk away. And that one decision can change everything. Maya's story reminds us that courage lives in the smallest hearts and that kindness can outlast any darkness. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is help someone when you have almost nothing to give. That's real heroism. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear Maya's message, and subscribe for more incredible true stories of courage, hope, and ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories to life. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when we post new stories that will move your heart and remind you of the power we all have to make a difference. What would you have done in Maya's situation? Let us know in the comments below.